Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the place for you if you're looking to quit the 9 to 5 and start a profitable business of your own. My name is Kome Olori. I am the founder of She Dares to Succeed. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how I got started on FBA, Amazon, and how I was able to sell over £10,000 in 2 days as of December 2019. So it's going to be a very interesting video. Before we get started, make sure you grab yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine if that's what you prefer, and let's get started. So before I got onto FBA business, I started on eBay, and this was like 2013 when I first started selling on eBay, but I wasn't serious. And there's a different video that I'm doing, which is how I started the business at 21 with almost no money. So before I got onto eBay, I had a business which was a hair extensions wholesale business, which I had started at 21. And so I wasn't entirely new to doing business or to selling stuff, but the eBay business came in because I'd moved away from Essex, where I was living and where I was selling hair. And so it became really difficult to keep in touch with my customers, and the business just fell to the wayside at that time. So eBay came into my life where I was just experimenting with what was selling and just to see if it was a possibility for me. And this was 2013. But at the time, I had a job at an international bank in London. I was a trade finance analyst. And so, yeah, I wasn't serious about eBay. I just liked the idea of selling at that time. And it wasn't until 2015 when I left to have my daughter. So I had gone on maternity leave about April of 2015, and my daughter wasn't born until I'd gone on maternity leave and annual leave, and my daughter wasn't born until July. And at that time, I just realized I was bored staying at home with a newborn all day without a source of something to keep me excited. Secondly, it was because my income had taken a drastic cut. So if you've ever had a baby in the UK, you would know that your income really drops. So my income was cut in like 8 places basically, and the maternity allowance in the UK, even though it's okay for some people, it's nothing to write home about. So I essentially had bills that were unchanged. They remained the same even though I was on maternity leave. Like nobody was going to say, oh, I understand you're on maternity leave, I'm going to give you a 50% discount. So my bills remained the same and my income took a huge hit. And that kind of motivated me to start to look for alternatives of earning an income and looking for how I could also pull my weight in the family and essentially bring in something every month. And so I remember that eBay, I had been successful in selling a few items on eBay. And so I just thought it was a good progression to just go back and look at the platform again and see how I could up my selling and up my income essentially. So I started selling on eBay in September of 2015. And it was just taking one of the items I already had at home, list it on there, and I started to sell quite consistently after that. So that by the time I went back to work in the June of 2016, I already had like a steady side hustle going on eBay. So I was working my full-time job at the bank, and in the evenings I would package my orders on eBay. I would send them out, and I was so blessed that my partner was very supportive, and he would take the parcels to the post office for me because I still had the baby, right? Even though my baby was already one, but she was really young, so I couldn't do everything by myself. So he would take them to the post office. I would pack the orders. I would message my customers on the platform. I would answer my messages. I would do the listing. So that's what I was doing for a very long time, which was like 2016 till 2017. But at that time, the business had picked up to the point where I started to feel like it was taking away the time I could be spending with my family, and I was spending it on all the admin stuff that I had to do for my eBay business. And so I started to kind of resent the amount of work, even though I knew I was blessed to have that side income coming in, and that income was able to get me some of the stuff that my day job couldn't provide for me. So I once again went back to the drawing board. I started to think, like, what could I do extra to the eBay, or allow me to reduce eBay so that I could spend a little more time with my family in the evenings when I come back from work, and even on the weekends when I would normally spend listing new items. And one day I was just chatting with a friend, and she mentioned that, oh, if you're already doing eBay, then Amazon is going to be really suitable for you. And so she gave me information, like she was already selling on Amazon, not on eBay but on Amazon, and that it was interesting, it was very profitable. And she told me she just sold everyday products on the Amazon website, and that triggered my interest. Like, okay, it really piqued my interest. Like, I really wanted to know a bit more about what she was doing, and she was kind enough to break it down to me without really telling me the products she was selling, but to help me through the process of telling me how to register, where to get products, and the likes. So that was in December of 2017, and it was just about before year end. So I couldn't act on it, especially because I had quite a bit of stock on the eBay side, which I didn't want to just abandon. But I was thinking about it. And so in the March of 2018, this is now the next year, obviously. So the March of 2018, I decided to try Amazon. And so I decided that, okay, I'm not going to take any money from my eBay business, which, don't forget, also provides the side income for my family to just be able to afford a few other things that we wouldn't normally be able to afford if it was just day jobs. So I thought about it and said, okay, I'm not going to put any of my money in Amazon because I'm not sure if it's going to work out. So what I did, I took my credit card. I had about £300 availability on the credit card, and I said, I'm going to spend this on starting up my Amazon business because I really want to see where it's going to go. And so that was what I did. I went out and bought a few things that I put on the Amazon website that I thought would sell over the Easter period. And so that was what happened. During Easter of 2018, one day I went to bed. I think it was on the Good Friday. I went to bed. I woke up and I was completely sold out of everything. It was unbelievable. Every single item we had listed was gone. And so I was excited. I was, it was just something I'd never imagined could happen. So even though I had invested just about £300 on my credit card, I did make a good profit of about £200 from that investment. And that was really, really good. It was beyond my expectation because at the time I was investing, it wasn't about the profit. It was more about trying the method, trying the business, seeing if it could work, if it was lucrative, and if it could fit my lifestyle. All of a sudden, by the time all those items sold, I realized that it not just fitted, what I was looking for to expand my business, but it also allowed me to hands off the business, go to work, come back, spend time with my family, which is what I was looking for. So I made the decision that I was going to start winding down my eBay business so that I could transfer the money from eBay into Amazon. And so that's what I started to do. So I was selling stuff off eBay without replenishing my stock, and I was just reducing it gradually until the time where I felt comfortable to put enough money into Amazon. And so in December of 2018 was the first time I really went all out to say, okay, what can I sell? So I started to stock from about October, and I knew that I was targeting the Christmas season. So that's what I was doing. And then slowly was able to replace whatever money was coming from eBay, which at this point was about 1,500 to 2,000 every month on a consistent basis. So now this is Amazon. eBay was no longer looking as exciting to me. Amazon was now the in thing. And then December 2018 was really good, but I started to think of how else can I expand this business? How can I grow the business to the point where it is self-sufficient and it allows me to step a bit away from my job at the bank so that I could still focus on my family, which has always been my target. And then I knew that also I was having a baby. I was having a baby in the summer of 2019. And so it just excited me and, motivated me to try to do everything I could to make the Amazon business work. So I continued growing steadily to the point where I knew that I didn't know what else to do to scale up my business so that I could just hands up and know that I am, a full-time entrepreneur if that is what I wanted. And that doesn't mean that I can't go back to work if I wanted. It just means that I wouldn't have to worry about the financial part of the business. I could just focus. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I knew that I couldn't scale it on my own. So I found somebody who was turning over around £1 million on Amazon. And I asked her to teach me what I needed to do to get to the next level. So guys, this is where it becomes real, right? She charges me. She says, okay, I don't necessarily teach people. I'm happy to teach you, but I'm going to charge you. And she did. She charged me quite a chunky bit of coin, which I was happy to pay because I knew that whatever she knew, I wanted to know it so that I could potentially get to her own level. So that was what I did. It took me a few days to come up with the money. I paid her and we had a session on Zoom. If you don't know what Zoom is a webinar platform that allows you to obviously communicate with somebody who is far away. So she's far away from me. It was a webinar style class and I was able to ask her all the questions that I had and she was able to teach me what she thought was wrong with my business and how to scale up, and it was an eye-opener. So I said, okay, I'm going to implement everything this lady has taught me for December of 2019. And that's what I did. So I started to think about what else I could add to my business because of what she had said. And it was a bit scary for me because I was investing more in the business. I was spending more time on the business. And one of the key advice she gave me was that I needed to spend more time working on my business, around 3 to 5 hours every day, sourcing for new products from different suppliers. And that would give me a variety in my shop and that would attract a variety of customers. So that was the key advice she gave me. And so I started to do that. And so I stocked up for December of 2019. Now, let me just mention here that the Q4 is a mad season. It's when people are buying a lot of things. People are buying toys, presents for their children, presents for their relatives. Also, people tend to be a bit lazier during that season because they want to spend time with their family. And so that gave me the opportunity to be able to really capitalize on the season and make a good amount of income. So I stocked up knowing that Q4 was going to be a very busy period and things were moving along. I was selling a bit more, but then when it came to November, towards the end of November, I saw that things were really picking up and the business was really picking up as well. And, I was really excited about that. But it hadn't yet gotten to the point where I was like, right, this is what I've been waiting for, until I think it was the 30th of November, which is supposed to be Black Friday. Now, Black Friday in the UK doesn't seem to be as vibrant and as crazy as the American Black Friday. So I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't expecting much. But that evening, I was just gisting and chilling with my family because I had family visiting. So I was just hanging out with my family in the evening, We looked on the shop, just to see if everything was okay before going to bed. And then I woke up in the morning, and as I would normally do, I just go to my seller's dashboard to see what's going on with my business. Have I made any sales? Because it keeps me excited and motivated throughout the day. And I was shocked. In the UK, I had sold over £6,000 overnight, and all over Europe, I had sold like an additional 6,000 or £7,000 that day alone. So just overnight. I was in shock. It was nothing like I had expected. Now, I know a few Amazon sellers who claim to have such numbers on a daily basis, but for me, it had never happened. For me, it had been a bit every day, adding up to a good sum of money at the end of the month. But all of a sudden, I went from, £500 on a day, £1,000 on a day, to nearly £12,000 in one night. And so I nearly went crazy. It was so exciting for me. I did the whole dance around the room, whatever. And then I came back to, what exactly happened. Anyway, over the next couple of days after that first night, I still sold like a very tiny sum of money. And yeah, that's the story of how I sold over £10,000, which is actually in actuality is about 14 to 16,000 pounds in 2 to 3 days. Now, because I've told you the story, I just want to clarify a few things, because some people are going to be watching this video and thinking, boy, that's a lot of money. Actually, it is a lot of money to sell like so quickly. The turnover has been crazy on the back of the new things that I'm doing in my shop, which is really spending time focusing on the business, really targeting a few key brands that I like to sell, and trying very hard to grow the business the way I want it to provide income, not the way I feel. So those are the key things I have changed in the business. Obviously, I'm growing in confidence on the things that I choose to invest in for the business. Obviously, investing in training and coaching was a very big deal for me. It was quite a tidy sum of money for me. It was a pretty coin, which I have never invested in any type of training outside of university, of which university I didn't even pay for it by myself. But I hope you understand what I mean when I say it was really, really expensive, and it was eye-watering kind of money for me to just pay somebody to teach me then what they know. So all that being said, the money that has come into the business in the past month allowed me, in December, allowed me to take January off. It allowed the whole family to take January off and just to relax and not really think about working on the business or anything. And so we're just gradually going back into seeing what we can potentially sell, and just to build the business on the basis that we now know what we are doing, sort of. But the little disclaimer for anybody is that if you're looking to go into Amazon business, it is quite a lucrative business. The Amazon platform is massive, and on their last report, they said they had about 192 million people using Amazon worldwide. So that's quite a large sum of people who are attracted to the platform on a daily basis to buy simple everyday products. So there is enough space for anybody who wants to get on Amazon. However, I don't want to downplay the amount of work that it involves. It actually involves you getting up in the morning and working on your business, or if you are the kind of person who has a day job, actually coming home from work, maybe putting the children to sleep like I used to do, and then focusing on your business for at least 3 hours on a daily basis. So that's number one disclaimer. Number two disclaimer is that even though I have mentioned that quite a tiny bit of money is coming in, let me use the accounting term, that is actually turnover and not all profits. So the profit is very tidy, and sometimes you get between 50 to 60% profit, or let me just say between 40 to 60% profit on the things that you do sell on the platform, if you are savvy and you're buying the right things and listing them at the right prices, not just trying to be the lowest price on the block. So there's quite a tidy bit of profit. However, don't forget, every business has expenses, every business has to pay tax. So these monies or these amounts I'm telling you are all income before tax, before expense, before any of the things that we need to run the business. So that is something that you need to bear in mind if you are attracted to selling on Amazon. I'm going to round this video up by saying, if you are interested in all this kind of information about how to make money with Amazon and with any other business that I have invested in, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you would like to know about Amazon and about any other business. Now, finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you know when there is new there's new content that you will be interested in. I think I stumbled over that a bit. Okay, let me say it again. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you will know when there is new content that interests you. Obviously, if you're looking to quit 9 to 5, build a profitable business, and just simply be able to make money from the comfort of your own home. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.